potential of the machine builder. And then when it is in a serious production, even if it's individual, the system supports the companies to design and to develop machines for their end customers by using ERP tools, fully integrated by an open interface. And finally, it is necessary to manage a life cycle of the machine, so it is necessary to make sure that support is available all over the globe, that services are available all over the globe. Altogether, those are the savings for Automation Studio. What Automation Studio is providing to our customer. And this savings, this ends up in saving manpower, resources in terms of manpower. Manpower our customers can use to invest in new technology, in software, because software to some extent is able to replace hardware components. We do it in our system. We are able to replace dedicated hydraulic systems into standard products by using software. We can replace PID controllers for temperature controller into our standard architecture, which is cost effective for our customer, give more flexibility, and give them a potential to do innovative jobs for their customers and to make a unique selling point in terms of their market for their competition situation. We bring everything together in a single tool, which is important for our customer, that they can concentrate on their tasks instead of making trainings for this and for that and for those. We bring everything together in one. It makes efficiency for R&D, it makes efficiency for service, and it makes efficiency for the end user, for their service people. The approach for doing mechatronic solutions provides the possibility to reuse software. Automation Studio is a big help to organize this reusability of software and gives a big benefit to the customers of having a bunch of predefined software which can be used individually for customer needs. And I already have emphasized this is important to do parallel development between mechanical design, electrical design, and the software design. And machines are becoming more and more complex, and therefore it is necessary, and we think it is recommended for some processes to do simulation. There are some branches in the world, some industry in the world, they're already using simulation over years, and they are doing a very efficient job. In the machine industry, this will change the way of development, and we are supporting this already today to use simulation and to develop software based on simulation architecture. And the graphics you see here, it's a so-called V model. It's a must for all companies. They have to develop and to deliver machines going into the pharmaceutical industry, because FDA for the Americans and even the INEX in Europe, and there are local laws in different nations. They are requesting a proper process how you manufacture pharmaceutical products. And the V model is one of the base of doing that. And the V model is quite simple. The customer tells you what the customer wants. And now comes the very first point. You need to write this down before you start development. And you ask the customer to get an acknowledge for what you have written down. You have done a specification. And the V module just says, write down and define the behavior of the system you would like to have and get an agreement on that. And whoever has made software in his life knows that people change their mind. What was the intent of the idea and what are they going to ask at the end of the day. And the simulation here is right in the middle. If you have done a specification of a proper process and you are able to simulate this, then you know this up front if it's really doing what you expect. You can show this to your customer. You can give qualified information to the customer about the processing. And each machine is individual. Machines are becoming mechatronic units. Mechatronical units, as it is defined as a specific word, because mechatronic is not a predefined word, it's an art word bringing together different fields of technology. On one hand side, mechatronic, and at the other hand side, tronic from electronic. And here you see that's the electrical part and that's the machine building part, and even if I'm in a danger here, who is coming from the mechanical departments or electrical departments? Okay, then it's not so dangerous for me because I will say the software is the most responsible part in the machines bring together mechanic and electrical. And the software makes sure that the machine really is doing a good job, is doing a proper job. And this, therefore, I think mechatronic means mechanic and electric driven by software. And the mechatronic approach will be for the future the key point of cost savings for machine industry. It will save the time and it will increase efficiency, and at the end of the day this means money. More profit you can spend for your development, for your innovations in the machine. What is a necessary or what's a need for those mechatronic approach? One of those needs is that the automation equipment will fulfill the requirements for designing mechatronic units. We say performance without limits. There is always a limit, you will say. Of course, electronic will always have a limit, but that's not what it's meant here. The important part is the limitation in machines must be limited by the process and by the mechanical functions. And it is not, in our opinion, it's not good if the performance is limited by the automation equipment. I'm told there are equipment in the world available which is limiting the performance of machines. That's not our goal. The limit for machines must be defined by the process itself, and the automation equipment must fulfill the needs to do a maximum speed. And those needs, they can be addressed by being flexible, how you design your machine, how you build up the machine, could be centralized architecture, decentralized architecture, what's necessary for the type of a machine. And at the other hand side, mechatronic units, they are very much defined by software. So the software itself must be flexible according to the idea of mechatronics. So there must be a way to bring together software components with the hardware and the mechanics. And this can be composed as a total machine. This is the main goal. And everything what's necessary for handling the software will be handled by a software package we call Automation Studio. That's the product from BuR to be an answer to all those requirements for the future of modern art machine design. Automation Studio brings together the project management. What is the project management? The machine starts at the very first point at the idea of the engineers and the demands of the customer. And then when all those documents are going together and the project is formed, then we come to the point where we do programming, PLC software, motion software, we will do visualization, we will do safety, and of course we also do some diagnostics in the system which is available remote. But once I would like to emphasize, automation software is not just an ISC 61131-3 software. Automation software is a lot more which goes along with that to ensure quality and robustness for the customers. And you see here graphics where we think Automation Studio will support our customers to do efficient software design, efficient automation engineering. At the very first beginning there is the idea that the task of the engineers to bring those ideas and to bring it into documents and to define them and to do specifications. Already those specifications can go into the project handled by Automation Studio. And then it comes to the point where the design has to be done, where the program has to be written, where the software has to be written to make those installations available. Days and months. But after 2 years, this might be a big problem if an electrician is coming to do a service and the drawings are not according to the final installation. This was not a big issue when all the machines have been series produced machines, but because they have been equal, all of them have been equal. But when it comes down to batch size 1, they may have changes.